Okay, hey, we are back, episode 2. Episode
Oh
2.
my gosh.
Woo!
We made it.
It's been so hard waiting all week to get back to this point.
Yeah, I don't even remember what was happening. There's. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
so the Millennium Falcon is sentient, and it's filled with all our disappointment. And like the ectoplasm of Ghostbusters 2, that is caused it to come alive, and now it's trying to kill Harrison Ford.
That's exactly what I thought.
And no joke, Barbarians just spawned 2 Barbarians right outside my beautiful Marin. Out of nowhere. That seems unfair.
Very unfair.
Yeah, I just noticed one barbarian walk past me into whatever the city-state is that I haven't met yet. My poor wounded warriors down there, trying to keep it together. But Coruscant's growing, you know. It's going to become quickly a city planet. You know, the city will overtake the entire planet, and of course, you know, rule the world.
Galactic blight.
Yeah, galactic empire. You know, one empire to rule them all.
Yeah.
Fortify these guys. All right.
I mean, what are you excited about new Star Wars for? Anything. Give me anything.
It's new Star Wars.
Okay.
But that's not an answer. Is it? Is new Star Wars the answer?
Yeah.
Oh, look, more poop.
Oh.
I'm of the opinion that, like, I'm a fan of anything that gets made ever.
Okay.
The fact that it gets made makes me happy.
Sure.
Like, the fact that
Even under duress?
well, I mean, I don't want it to be a bad movie, and I certainly don't want Harrison Ford to die during it. But I'm just, I feel the same way about, like, whatchamacallit, Spider-Man. So when the Spider-Man movie came out, I was really excited about that, even though that movie was not the best.
Sure.
Because,
Hey, more Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was excited for more Spider-Man. I'm just happy that they are making movies. And sure, they could be better. Certainly. But, you know...
What about the Transformers movies? Do you get excited about those?
Well, I never really... much to Eric Garneau, who's of the Nerdologues, his chagrin, I'm not a huge fan of Transformers. I never really grew up with it as a kid or anything. So,
okay.
I only saw the first movie, and I saw it only once when it first came out. So I couldn't. I don't really care.
I just had Barbarians take one of my workers.
Yeah, that happens. And then you got to go get them back.
Yeah.
Where are
in the
they
ass.
in relation to my warriors? I can send some warriors to help you.
Nah, I think I've got them. They're in my city. I think I'll be all right.
Okay. Because as you recall, or as people may recall from the last episode, we do have a declaration.
To the best of my knowledge.
we are bros in this.
But I can also fire a pizza tracker.
Are you ordering pizza right now?
I'm gonna throw at you.
Oh, okay.
To reference the
previous, yeah. That was a bad day.
You're like Kissinger. That was a bad day.
That was a bad day. I've discovered sailing, guys.
Oh boy, sailing
yeah.
This early.
I've got it as well.
Guys, we're on a small continent. What do you need to do with sailing?
Well, I have fish literally in my zone. Fish just sitting there, ready to go.
Oh, found a pantheon. Here we go.
See, how is that happening? I have never. I've yet to find a pantheon. You have to I guess you have to have religious.
I think it's like triggered by population or culture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by culture. We're not very cultured here in Coruscant. Made to build big cities and, you know, dominate the galaxy. So.
Pantheon founded.
There it is. I was gonna go continue to look for your borders, Mark, but I think I'm just gonna keep on exploring up here. I'll see you sooner or later. I didn't mean. By the way, I didn't mean for that to sound so ominous.
No, it was the Mwaha. You turned your mic down, but I still caught a little bit in the echo. So, I just got my workers back, so our long national nightmare's over. I assume Chris is amassing an army to come descend upon me in my fair pyramid.
We don't call them armies. We call them stormtroopers.
So Chris, you're the actual Empire. You're not the rebels. Well, I guess you'd be.
Well, I was the rebels before.
It's a loop.
Yeah, and my colors are the colors of Japan are red and white, so it's not like, they're bright red and white. Feels pretty.
So I feel like the whole Star Wars debate for me, because I hear what Mark is saying, but Chris, I'm also the same way. I'm a big fan of like the Clone Wars television show.
I love that show.
It's a great show,
yeah.
And the Star Wars Rebel show that's going to be coming out looks really fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, the movies are less interesting because I'm more interested in seeing, like, it's if Star Wars is supposed to be about like a pulpy interpretation of a modern interpretation of these pulpy stories. It's like, well, let's have that. That sounds really interesting to me. That's why I liked. So that's what interests me the most about Clone Wars. So I don't know. I want it to be good. I want all movies to be good. I want movies to succeed.
Movies are awesome. What's going on there?
I got so many. I got so many barbarians around.
Oh no!
Where are you at? Are you?
I'm up on the northwest of where we met.
Okay, so all right.
I'm trying to send my warriors back there. I got archers in there, but there are fighters right on my workers. I'm gonna move the workers actually into the city here, defend them. So you will do nothing. Oh my gosh.
We're pretty tightly packed. Oh nope, Boston Pops. You just exploded.
What?
Oh wow!
What just happened?
Because you made the great library.
Oh, I did! Hooray! I got 3 barbarians on the my doorstep, but I got a free technology though. Ow! What?
Wow.
Shit.
Everything. Now I'm in last place. That's great.
Any of you have mathematics yet?
No. Guys, just so you know, for the future, this is something I just realized. So one of my little specialties is if I destroy a barbarian encampment, there is a random chance that they may join me. So there is a tribe of barbarians who have now joined the German Empire.
Oh wow!
So you're getting city-state. Are you getting cities out of that?
No, it's just like
just
an encampment.
people.
So it's just a unit. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all it is.
That's
still
cool.
great. That's great.
Yeah.
I am licking my wounds, having repelled the barbarian army.
I am in great trouble.
All right,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sending. I'm 8 moves away. I may not be there.
No, I think it'll be okay. I think I'll survive, but
An unmet player has entered the classical era. Who the fuck do you think you are,
I think
Chris?
that was me.
You invite us onto your show for the first time, and then you just pretend like it's going to be nothing? Like Mark and I are just going to lay down like dogs and take this?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm being played. I trust no one.
Okay, I got one of the barbarians. Yeah, I've entered the classical era because I researched mathematics. So yeah, I'm in the classical era, guys. What's happening?
I'm spending gold to buy tiles. Because I'm going to expand my empire.
Oh, pyramids
Oh
have
my
been
God.
built.
There.
Okay, you guys.
That wasn't me.
Things are happening.
Was that you, Mark?
It was.
It's Mark.
Oh, he snaked you. I got another thing of barbarians outside my base. Jeez, Pete. Killing my farms.
They're pillaging.
Yeah, yeah. Not using the R word that Kellen
Nope.
so throws around so flippantly.
Well, hey, that was in the last episode. That was not in this. That was in the one that will never be heard.
The lost tapes. Where was this missing? Where are the missing 15? More I just had Barbarians show up. Alright, gotta get my workers.
Oh my god. This has a need.
You guys are not going to be happy when you see what is going on with me. You're not going to be happy. You're going to say, "Boy, we should have left. We should have left Germany alone."
I mean, at this point, I am leaving Germany alone.
There's Barbarians just falling out of the sky on top of me right now.
Me too. I mean, people at home will be able to see this. I have 3 Barbarians surrounding Coruscant right now. An archer and 2 axemen, and my archers inside the city are just trying to survive while being completely surrounded. Oh, this is bad news.
Ooh, natural wonder discovered. What is this? Oh, Mount Fuji.
Oh, I
Excellent.
want. That's a Japanese, correct?
Wow, yeah.
All right, my
You can find me.
warriors have finally returned home. A little late, but still. Ah, get out of here.
I recaptured my workers
Nice.
because I'm just... And I'm sending my archers out on patrol to clean up. I've got a workboat.
You know, this is fairly reminiscent of the early days of Coruscant's history. You know, when they
It
were
was
starting
a
out.
turbulent time.
When they were starting out, Coruscant under siege by barbarians, barbarian Twi'leks or something like that. I think it bothers me how much it bothers you that I like Star Wars.
No, I maybe. No.
Maybe.
Yeah, what I don't like is, like, as someone that's been a fan, like, and going back as long as I can remember, which is like most of us, you know, but I just feel like the fan community is, like, being robbed a little bit and taken advantage of, and instead of making, like, great things to inspire new memories, it's just, like, warming over the leftovers and trying to hit dates to sell toys for Christmas and not, like, dates to, like, make the best movie and reclaim Star Wars and like restore the luster of, like, the first 2 movies and even Return of the Jedi that I love so much. Like, it just bums me out that, like, you know, that's probably not going to happen. And you see the stuff that's going on with the Marvel movies, it just feels like we're being taken advantage of a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, Mark, couldn't you say the same thing about, like, sports teams? Like, I've heard that argument, the same thing. It's like it's the same thing that happens with a sports team in terms of, like, oh, well, they have new jerseys that come out.
Sure.
And, they have, like, all this sort of fan apparel. It's like it's not even just nerds are being taken advantage of. It's just how
it's just business. Yeah.
It's just business, and I hate that. I agree. It's just like, oh, it's such a terrible sort of way to be kind of going about and operating. But, like, I feel like there's also, having gone to multiple comic conventions around the country, having been, you know, kind of involved in this sort of nerd culture for some time, I just feel it's almost like people love it. It's the way that they kind of want to be treated, because they like stuff and they like kind of feeling like there's a part of the of the larger society that wants them to buy their stuff. Fair. That's the response. Fair.
Yeah, well, it's just, I agree. Like, I think it's awesome that I can buy a Doctor Who anything. And
yes.
I can get all this cool stuff, or at least things that make me happy. But the thing that, my only concern is that, like, we're not out, people aren't out making the new stuff is being made by people like us, which is exciting. And hopefully it'll take hold. But what if it's never given the capital it needs to kind of reach wider audiences or to get a better production values, because all this money is being sucked into just kind of serving us the old stuff again? that's a concern, and I think it's a kind of a fair concern.
To play devil's advocate, I mean, isn't that? I mean, Star Wars was just originally doing that. Same thing with the Indiana Jones. Same thing with. I mean,
But it wasn't. Those first two movies, and especially first Star Wars and the Indiana Jones, weren't made to sell toys. Like
True.
They were made to be good movies. Now, obviously, Lucas has said, you know, like, look, they exist to sell toys now, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. I just want to see like somebody like Rian Johnson go make his Star Wars, not a Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like that dude has so many fun and brilliant ideas, and has such a weird like kind of visual sense and kind of reference points. That like, yeah, I want to see that dude make his Indiana Jones or something, but out of his new characters, so we can enjoy those new characters as well with the old stuff we got. But also,
the sort of go ahead.
Oh, but also it's like books too. Like if we just realize like film is just like, you know, like Sherlock Holmes keeps getting repurposed over and over again, and we're all okay about that. So that's maybe what we have to look at these other characters. Is they're like Sherlock Holmes, they're like Dracula. They're now part of the popular culture, and we're going to see them again and again in a bunch of different ways, and that's okay.
And I guess for me, because I see the Marvel movies as different from Star Wars, because at least I feel like Marvel movies is now getting people into that world where they can go and they can appreciate that part of the industry, and that helps the comic book industry stay alive. Whereas Star Wars kind of becomes this sort of like Ouroboros, it just eats itself over and over again. But that only works because there's new generations of people. Like one of the things about having a kid right now, I'm kind of like, oh, like what's the first Star Wars movie I'm going to take him to?
Yeah.
Like, and thinking about that and actually kind of getting excited about showing him the old movies and being like, well, he gets to experience this, and that means I get to re-experience it.
I just got to experience more Barbarians. I've got to get my people back into my town because there's a barbarian encampment right outside of our borders. No, I totally agree with you, and that actually is in any part of my brain. The only reason I can think to have a child is because it would be like, oh, cool, let me show you this thing. Star Wars, comic books, whatever, just the stuff that I love. Like that has got to be the coolest.
I mean, I can say, like, I normally would never be interested in waiting in line at Macy's to go see Santa Claus. Like, that would be just the biggest pain in the ass. Like, that's personal hell. But I did that with my kid this last year, and I can't tell you how fun it was because I was like, boy, Kellen Terret, really hate this, but I'm doing this for my kid, and this is actually fun being able to see him, even though he's like a 6-month-old baby at that point. You know, kind of experiencing that, and I just kind of got excited about like, well, what else is that going to be like? What about when I get to show him the things that I like, and what it's going to be like when he hates the stuff that I like? When he's like, "Ugh, Dad, do we really have to go? I don't want to watch Tom Baker as Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I don't want to experience.
I don't want to see the new Star Wars movie. Star Wars is lame.
Star Wars is lame, Dad. Let me go and play baseball." I'm gonna be like, okay.
Who are you?
There's the great Patton Oswalt joke about his kid beating him up and throwing his Blade Runner gun up on the roof.
Right.
Where, you know, you just go like, yeah, what if oh God, a cool kid. Like, I wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
I couldn't speak to you. I would be afraid of you.
I remember seeing an Armando recently where, or no, not recently, like a year ago, not recently at all, where the speakers were parents, comedy parents. And
really?
they were incredibly concerned that their kid would not find them funny.
That's adorable.
Which I think is the probably the most adorable thing, that they were like, we spend all of our time making people laugh. What if our child doesn't think we're funny? Like, what is that going to be like?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Have your parents engaged in what you do and what you share with people?
My mom is a prolific fan of everything that Nerdalogs does.
Oh,
that's so cool.
She likes everything. She told me on the phone like a couple weeks ago. She was like, she listens to all of the podcasts.
Oh,
so your mom's already a big fan of me then.
Oh yeah. I don't think she listens to Talking Games. To be honest, I don't think it's in her wheelhouse. But she listens to like all of MBSing, and she listens to your stories and her logcasts and stuff. And she loves Mary Beth, which is wonderful. And she told me on the phone a couple weeks ago, tell Mary Beth that I love her and I think her voice is so great and she's such a good speaker. And I'm like, yeah, I absolutely will tell her that. You'd love that.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, I mean, nice to have support in that.
Yeah.
Very, very fortunate. Because I can do this. Kill these barbarians.
Mark, do your folks understand and like what you do? Having done so much, school for all that?
My dad thinks it's really funny. He thinks like the videos and the podcasts are pretty funny. Sometimes he's like, why'd you say that? But he gets a kick out of it because like he's he's the guy that gave me the sense of humor. So for him to see that like I've been able to create anything just sort of like blows his mind because it's just like, oh my god, you're an idiot. In the best sense, So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, like sometimes it's weird because you can't think about the stuff you say or do because the comedy would be kind of off.
Oh yeah.
And you realize, oh god, my parents have to hear that, or my girlfriend or whatever has to hear that. Sometimes that can be weird, but you're like, a joke's a joke.
Joke's a joke.
Oh, I built the wrong thing.
Story of my life. I got I got a second city. I didn't mean to say that. So I'm gonna name. Let's see if that's.
That's what I wanted to build. I wanted to build a settler, and I accidentally built a fucking worker.
Napa. I'm making Napa.
Napa.
Just near Marin.
You're making me long for San Francisco.
Best place in the world.
Best place in the world.
These barbarians are gonna straight up rob my workers, and it's gonna take me a while to build an archer.
Wow.
Oh, hey, there's more barbarians. That's all my life is now. It's just barbarians.
I can't believe my guys survived that. That was amazing. All right.
I don't think my newly founded city is going to last long enough to get this archer out.
You think the barbarians are already going to take it over?
The barbarians are at the gate.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, I'm losing money somewhere. Where am I losing money?
Kellen, do you think about like what your son someday could hear?
Oh, like in terms of like if he's going to listen to podcasts that are going to be terrible, or
no? I don't. Just in general, like he'll have this window into your life.
Oh my god,
that's kind of cool.
Like I mean, so like Unemployed Life, we've been going every single week for 3.5 years. We've got over 170 episodes. And I look back and I look at myself over the last 3 years and I'm like, oh my God, look at the changes. Look at my how I've changed, how my body's changed, how my ideas of comedy have changed. And to think that he could one day see all that and understand that there is a point in that series where he didn't exist and then the next week he did exist. You know, that's really, really weird to me.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole thing about how much we've put onto the internet that, like, we just didn't have that insight into our parents before in that same way, and it's kind of crazy to think about how much they're going to be able to look back.
You can. So I'm marrying a woman, an adult woman in October. Thank you. I didn't do anything. I tricked her. I'm playing the long con, though. But our first date was on my old podcast.
Right.
And then we started a podcast. And then, like, as a bit that we pretended that we used to date, but then we actually started dating, and now we're getting married. And that all is completely recorded.
Wow. Your whole
wonderful.
courtship is
Like,
that's
yeah.
amazing, isn't it? It's so beautiful.
And there'll be an episode where she'll murder me, but it won't air because she doesn't know the login to our Podbean site. So, but that's how I'll die. I'll die
That's
on a
how it'll.
podcast.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the start of our best friendship here? That our record of friendship is being recorded right now for
That would be awesome. Or, like, depending on how this game goes, the seeds of our destruction.
Exactly. This is how America falls. This is how this game really starts it all off. You can trace it all back to this game right here.
right here. The seeds of anger and hate and frustration.
Okay, so I've got my second town, Napa, is under fire. But I'm sending reinforcements.
I'm still steadily working towards a second city. How far are you, Kellen, in terms of cities?
Working on my second city.
Your points seem a little low. So, are you building an army? What's going on
I'm not gonna
behind your
tell you
iron curtain?
guys.
You just hit the classical era. I know that because an unmet player hit the classical era, and you're the only one. So, who knows what's happening?
I can tell you this: we're having a lot of fun.
Boobs and beers.
Boobs and Beer is having a lot of fun, and I'm letting you guys know that you're not going to be excited when you see the Germans at your doorstep.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm part German.
I would have never guessed with your last name.
Yeah, right. So I take umbrage with that. That I do. You know, find I would be pretty happy if Germans would open my doorstep. It's fine.
My dear friend at work she's German and couldn't be more lovely. It's a treat every time I see her.
Yeah. We all have a friend that's
Okay, guys.
I don't know. We're just not the ones being,
Germis.
Germist. Yeah.
Now, wait a second, Chris. I have not entered the classical era because I just got the same notification that an unmet player has.
That's Kellen. That's Mark. Mark just hit the classical era.
Mark just did it. Okay.
So I hit it way back when. Mark has leapt forward with a tremendous 25 point.
No.
Hard math. So we're all in the classical era, which makes sense. We're at 1180 BC in the year of our Lord. So our one true God. Jesus Christ Superstar.
God, it's such a good jersey. You wear such a...
Yeah. Gosh. Now the Barbarians have boats.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, God, they're going to have planes.
Yeah. Oh, man. Barbarian planes. Could you imagine? That'd be fantastic.
It's very crude.
Yeah.
Just bundles of sticks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, they'd be
It's
like
like a bumblebee. I don't know how it flies.
be like the Russian plane.
Yeah.
Towards the end of.
Did they have wooden planes?
Oh yeah. They
a lot
made wooden bombers, wooden beats. They ran out of metal.
Oh, because the one I saw a special recently on their giant train guns,
Oh yeah.
which is like the multiple train car long cannon that was like an utter waste of resources.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm sure Dr. Terret there is rushing to build.
Absolutely. I'm working on the train gun resource right now.
Well, as a fan of the Galactic Empire, I like super weapons.
Yeah.
Everything's political. It's all marketing.
Well, I've grown up. I grew up with Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Do I think it's for everybody? No.
It should be for everyone.
It should be for
It
everyone.
should be for everyone.
I want it to be for everyone. But the fact that it isn't doesn't change my love. Same. The whole problem with like people getting upset about like Ninja Turtles.
Right.
I don't care about that. I don't care about a new Ninja Turtles movie. It's not for them. It's not for us. You know, or I should say, it's not for us. It's for new guys. And you know what? If they made a Star Wars movie that absolutely alienated me, that was like, this movie it's not for me, but like kids loved it or like people loved it, I'd be happy with that. You know what I mean? Because as long as it's a movie that people are really into, if it's not for me, it's not for me. But it doesn't mean that it shouldn't exist. Right. So I'm happy to hear that they're making one, and I'm excited to see what happens with it. And if it's bad, then it's bad. But you know, I'm just glad they're making things.
That's good. That's a very positive attitude.
Yeah,
I think it's a really healthy attitude. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I think that's the
For
way.
a piece of marketing.
It's just make things. You know, I'm a fan of people making things. When people are making art and they're making shows and making plays and making movies and making music, you know, they're not making guns. And that makes me really happy. I just want people, even if the movie is about guns, even if it's wars in the title, but you know, I'm a fan of people just making stuff, make stuff.
Yeah.
Just like I made these settlers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. They're gonna take over the world here. Well, cool. I think we're right at episode time.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good tease with your salads.
Oh, I gotta set my production real quick. Let me see what I want to make here. Oh, shoot. Cool. And a policy. Man, Mark, you have really just ripped past us.
No.
Yeah.
Blind luck. I'm having barbarian trouble like you wouldn't believe.
Let me set a policy.
Oh, see, I have it. Yeah. My policy game is probably real far behind.
Let's see. All right. So let's take one more turn in the classic civilization fashion.
Just
one more turn. Oh wait, I see Napa.
Beautiful map.
I see it. You're right next to some gold. I see the one ring right by you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got some gold there, which is good. My finances are a gosh darn mess.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to clear out this area so I can settle it. Wait a second. I lost my warriors.
Uh-oh.
Nope, I didn't. No, I just... Oh. I'm dummy. I'm a dummy dumb.
You're scaring us there, Chris.
I just moved the wrong guy. Okay, so cool. So that should do it for episode 2. Nice ep, guys.
Great app.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
We're really cruising. So what's the status of your empires, real quick, real recap, where everyone's at?
Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm about to found a new city. I'm going to wait until the next episode for that. Getting into some real scrappy fun over here.
Scrappy fun?
That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say scrappy fun.
Yeah. So you have one city currently, working on the second?
Mm-hmm.
Mark, you're...
I've got 2 cities. I've got Marin, which is along the coast. Napa, which I just found along a river. We're building a water mill there to hopefully speed up production.
Beautiful.
Be on the lookout for Humboldt County. That might be coming up next episode.
And of course, I am the great galactic empire Coruscant, growing into beautiful, beautiful capital city. Just absolutely gorgeous with these Japanese-style buildings. Workers building pens for pigs and foxes and deer and horses. Got a huge farm out there. Got some settlers moving in to open a new city. What that city will be called, who knows? That's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
What Star Wars property will it be called? Star Wars planet. Hard to say. But we won't know until next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to this part of episode 2, then thank you. You're great. And until the next episode, we will see you in the history books. Goodbye.